but AJ Brimson to consider as well. He's got to fit in there somewhere. So here we go. It's the Gold Coast Titans and the Brisbane Broncos from the Sunshine Coast. A very familiar NRL venue these days, and it's Jamin Jolliffe first to hit it up here. So down the middle they go. Joe Stimson, he's one of the new buys here. That's a good run from him, although he's hit and put down pretty heavily. 3 pretty unhappy years at the Bulldogs. He had a pretty ordinary shoulder injury and never really got the whips cracking, but he's here, a fresh start, only 27 years of age. Aaron Clark. I know our co-commentator Gordy Tallis expects big things from him this year in the 13 position. Jolliffe with another run. Stimson again getting his hands on it. Pretty impressive set there as he makes it up to the 40-metre line, Stimson, and there's Boyd putting it up. And that's a pretty well-weighted kick. Jordan Pereira. I think we can class him as a veteran these days. 29 years of age, second year here at the Broncos. There's a pretty impressive side. Look at that, Stags, Farnworth. You've got Ezra Mam, who finished the season as Brisbane's number 6, and then there was a late exit. Gordy will tell us more about that in a moment. No Tom Flegler. Corey Pake's interesting. He gets the number 9 spot tonight ahead of Billy Walters, who we'll see come off the bench. There's a sprightly run from Reece Walsh. And now there's Pakes. This is what he can do. And gets up over halfway. And this is Jack Ahern. He's a Q Cup veteran. And he normally plays fullback, but he gets the number 7, the famous Broncos number 7 tonight. And 29 years of age, North Devils premiership player from last year, and a penalty for the Titans.
This is the first opportunity we're going to see with the Titans with some good possession. We talk about that spine. Toby Sexton was earmarked as the future of the Titans to start the year. He got a good chunk of performances, but we all know what happened in their season. And then Tanner Boyd, last 5 games at halfback, won 3 of those games. So he seems to have that front-running position to join the new recruit in Kieran Foran this year.
It's Haas versus Haas. Younger brother Cleese Haas playing for the Titans. And look out for Alofiana Khan Pereira if he gets in the clear. He is a flyer. He's wearing the number 2 for the Gold Coast Titans. And it's Sam McIntyre forced into the dummy half roll tonight, a role he actually played in the last game of the season for the Gold Coast. Chris Randall injured in training. Quick ball movement, and the ball sits up nicely for Sami. And he always shakes off Katoni Staggs. And that's the 10-metre line in front of him. So out it comes now for Sexton. Keeping it going for Stimson. Aaron Clark down the middle on tackle number 4. Number 15, Logan Bayliss-Brow involved in the tackle for the Broncos. Jolliffe, plenty of early touches as well as Stimson, and he's worn one there. Shalom Ofo with a tackle there.
Good.
That will make the highlight reel, and they get themselves a line dropout. Well, we thought this might be a step up from other games, Cooper Cronk, and the signs are really good, nice and early.
Yeah, look at this shot. Bang. Good contact in there to Stimson, but then the second play then, man screen, just good left shoulder contact on Joe Stimson. But then it was a nice play. So slower play the ball, 5th tackle. I think it was Tanner Boyd or Toby Sexton goes down that short left-hand side and got a nice repeat set, so they didn't get rattled by the good defence from the Broncos.
Okay, the attacking dropout to start.
Oh,
no one near it for the Titans. Well, you hope you never see that if you're a Titans fan in a club game. That was pretty ordinary stuff from them, but that's a win for the Broncos.
There was no one in cooey of that, Dan. The ball goes up and Ahern just goes to the ball, and he could have caught it himself but tapped it back, but bad signs from the Titans.
Now that we've got a moment to settle down, we can bring in Gordon Tallis on the sideline. Hello, Gordy.
G'day, Dan. G'day, Cooper. Great conditions here for rugby league. There's a strong breeze behind the Titans' back. And Dan, as you mentioned, there's a couple of changes. Tommy Flegler got a HIA training, so Bayliss-Brow was in for him, and Chris Randall, the hooker, hurt his hamstring in training, and Sam McIntyre's in there.
That's it. Thank you, Gordy. So we've got, here's an attacking kick, which works out pretty well. Pereira comes down with it, and they'll get the start again. So now the Broncos get their first opportunity, and it's Mann just happy to feed it on here. Corey Jensen is put on his back. Second year here at the Broncos. And now Pakes sends it long. Ahern keeps it going. Ross, 3-on-2. Ross goes himself and scores. Welcome back to Brisbane, Reece Walsh. That's what they want to see lots of in 2023.
The Titans only have themselves to blame to be in this position. It was sparked by Reece Walsh, but the play leading into this position, field position, have a look at this. Ball goes up, repeat set in the first 5 minutes of a contest. No one wants to go near the ball. The Broncos get it back. They put up an attacking kick. Campbell can't deal with it. And the Broncos pounce, and they shift the ball from the left side out to the right. And just have a look at this replay and the spark of acceleration from Reece Walsh. Gets on the outside of Sexton and gets the ball down. Now 2 tries and 13 try assists for the Warriors last year. With his first touch here tonight, he looks like he's in for a good start for the Broncos.
They've been working very hard, just reading some of the press, on his defence and communication. Darius Boyd has been spending a lot of time with him, but geez, his attack looks as sharp as ever.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's ever doubted that. You know, the fact that he can just hit the gas and drop it back a gear and beat people on the outside. But I think that's a good move from Kevin Walters to get Darius Boyd to mentor Reece Walsh, because you talk about fullbacks organising the defence. Along with Billy Slater, Darius Boyd was one of the best. Yep. Started it, had that extra defender in the line, and if Reece Walsh can put some footy IQ around his natural skills, boy, we might have a player in 2023.
Speaking of reports over summer and revelations, Tony Staggs, he didn't have a great year, and I tell you what, we got an explanation why. Basically ruined his shoulder during the Origin period, played through it, and at the end of the season had a reconstruction. So he's got some toughness about him, Tony.
You can see the shoulder strapping he's got there. That's a brace over both shoulders for the off-season surgery.
And he's got a toughish assignment here with a little bit of a breeze to contend with. And smart kick underneath the breeze. And there you go, just described beautifully by Kevin Walters there with his hand movement, as we watch another replay here of Reece Walsh getting Sami to back and dragging Sexton all the way to the line. So Reece Walsh, 38 NRL games, 11 tries. Doesn't sound like many, but he's set plenty up, that's for sure, in his time at the Warriors, and he signed on till 2025. Good crowd. We've seen a lot of that over the weekend. Broncos, of course, we know what happened to them last year. They lost 5 of their last 6, finished 9th. It was certainly an improvement. They seem to be going in the right direction, despite that collapse at the end of the year. Bayless Brow. That's a good run from Jensen. A bit of space to work with. David Fafita involved in that tackle, along with Sam McIntyre. Oh, there you go. The forward call. The Haas was a little surprised by that. What do you want it? That's going to be a scrum feed in handy position now for the Titans.
We're talking about having some star players on show tonight. Obviously, Payne Haas there, but on the other side, David Fafita. This is the type of game you'd love to see what the preseason's done for Fafita. A lot of talk around his inconsistency at different stages last year, but this guy is a wrecking ball. On the right-hand side of the play, the ball can Kieran Foran be that half that unlocks David Fafita. Well, let's see if he's in a good mood here with first opportunity to try and attack the Broncos.
Is his future still undecided as they work it to the left? Beautiful ball movement. Here's Khan Pereira sliding infield. Try-scoring weapon for the Burleigh Bears. A little bobble from Cleese Haas. Different body type to brother Payne. 10-metre line there. Clark at first receiver. Boyd keeping it going. Campbell, the cutout ball, and now it's Jojo Fafita coming back in field. And the high tackle there, getting the Titans another set.
Johnny Campbell with a couple of nice touches early on. One down the left-hand side of the scrum, and then this. Good defence from the Brisbane Broncos, though. They were under pressure 3-on-2. Reece Walsh came across. Pereira held his head on a swivel and made the right decision, but Jaden Campbell's nice touches in that set.
It's Aaron Shop, the former Bulldog, who taps the ball in number 3, and Jamin Jolliffe. Been here a little while now. The Titans, his 4th year, as they set up shop inside the Broncos 10. McIntyre comes back here to Fafita, and he's driven backwards. I was going to say, was that Ezra Mam? It sure was. And it's Clark getting it on. Sexton pass knocked down by Ahern. And, well, if it wasn't a knock-on from Ahern, it was a knock-on there. So Titans ball once again.
Where do you want it?
And they went one-on-one, close to the line with Fafita and Mam, and have a look at this. Mam, smaller body, puts his head in the right spot, hit him with everything, shoulder under the rib cage, picked up a much bigger man and put him back.
Isn't that a lesson, a serious lesson? As long as you've got technique, you can tackle anyone.
That's the type of tackle I would have got out of the road of, Dan, because David Fafita close to the line has this natural ability just to shrug off defenders and score tries.
So he's Campbell with the left foot step. Hanks and Ahern there making the tackle. They've had a little bit of ball here, the Titans. Clark, most of last year was at number 9. And they decided, Justin Holbrook and co, that he's not so creative, but he is a workhorse in the number 13. Sexton's ball. It's a kind bounce for Khan Pereira, but no way past Dean Mariner. The hit up here from Jolliffe. He's 5th. Again, they're inside the 10, the Titans. Clark, first receiver. Stimson almost pokes his nose through. Takes some putting down here. Gee, strong Joe Stimson.
It's going to be last tackle out 10.
He's done his squats over summer, and they'll have one tackle once this restarts on the 10.
Hold the line here, Ezra. Brendan. Go. Last one.
So the high ball here towards the Pereira side. Oh, put down. That was a pretty easy one. Looked like Mariner who dropped it. Now Sami off a fresh set. And Brisbane here, they're being tested in defence as Stimson with footwork this time. Jeez, the signs from Stimson are good as he got past awful. Tied deep for Clark, and now it's Jolliffe once again with the setup play.
Release him. Hold.
At the back, old-fashioned stuff there is Fafita, keeps it going. Shop's pass knocked down by Pereira, and they'll go again here. Test of patience at the moment. 12 gone, and most of the ball has been at this southern end.
Penalties, repeat sets, drop ball from the Brisbane Broncos. The Titans have had a lot of possession here in the last 5 minutes, and they seem to be a little bit clunky at different stages, the Titans, but I think it's more to do with the Broncos' energy in defence. They're fast moving, they get off the line, and they're not passive. They're definitely coming in, making good contact, and their outside edges are being aggressive and coming up in front of their defenders. So let's see if the Titans can jump on this possession. 14 tackles to 2 in the 20-metre zone.
Comes here to Shop, with the 2-on-2, and it's Farnworth first to meet him, and Farnworth drags him over the sideline. Big victory for the Broncos.
Outstanding there from the Brisbane Broncos. Multiple tackles, sets of 6 back-to-back, and Herbie Farnworth, who missed a lot of footy last year, holds up shop, and just the physicality. Look, they come from everywhere. And that's a good job. That's a good sign for all the Brisbane Broncos fans out there that they have resilience, they're fit, they defend their line for a long period. Now, I know it's only 14, 15 minutes in this contest, but great defensive resolve there from the Broncos.
Well, his season ended midway through. He had a bicep injury, and he came back for the World Cup. It was great for England, but a welcome return. They can have him and Staggs on other sides of the field at full throttle, that's great for the Broncos.
12 games last year and 10 tries. Like, he was electric down the left side, so it's a good avenue to go to both centres with Staggs on the right and Farnworth on the left.
So here's Corey Jensen. One very vocal Titans fan in the grandstand here. Wayne Haas. Reece Walsh. The loping left foot kick. Oh, he found some distance. Jojo Fafita. And he played 5 games in his... in fact, 8 games in his first year, draws a penalty. Now there's a sight. Marty Tapau in Broncos colours. Very late signing too, only signed a couple of weeks ago. He didn't make the late high shot. That was Jack Ahern, but could be a really good buy for Brisbane.
Yeah, good pick up. Another power forward to go through the middle, third rotation. And just going back to the Walsh kick, which you picked up on, Dan, that could be a good fall for Adam Reynolds. A right-sided footer on the right side to play the ball, Reece Walsh on the left. So that could be a good tandem on the 5th play. Just multiple options for the Broncos on last tackle options.
So Titans back over halfway. A couple of their big signings not here as Fafita is brought down. The big ones were Ford and Verrills, filling up a couple of areas that needed addressing. Also, Big Tino's not here, Mo Fotuaika, Bo Fermor, AJ Brimson. So there's a sprinkling of talent here for the Titans, but clearly not their best team as they work it on with Campbell getting it to Sami. Oh, that's a strong tackle. That was Katoni Staggs dropping Sami like a stone. Here's Jolliffe.
Last one, release him.
So one tackle left here. It's going to be Tanner Boyd to put boot to ball. Looking for the contest. Oh, Fafita! Out muscles Pereira. And young Jojo Fafita gets the Titans their first try.
That standing athleticism there from Fafita, but an even better kick from Tanner Boyd. When you're kicking the ball to your winger, you want to put the ball in the best possible spot for your attacking player to grab it. And have a look at this. Tanner Boyd back shoulder and just gives Fafita the height jump of the ball, but he came down with that. He had a bit to do, but great kick from Tanner Boyd. Even better come down catch with Fafita.
Mate, that was a great take, Dan. I know that you want to see Khan Pereira in the open spaces, but apparently Fafita's the fastest guy in the club. He's a national champion, over 100 metres, so he's a real flyer. And just on David Fafita, you know, that schoolboy run where he just wants to get it one off the ruck, it doesn't work anymore. They've worked out Dave. He's got to get a combination with his 9, 7, 1 and 6.
Yeah, that's why the Verrills and Foran buys are so crucial and that they stay on the field.
Yeah, I think Kieran Foran, part of the reason to go to the Titans would be the fact that David Fafita's there. Like, you can, you know, make a career out of playing to back rowers like that, because the threat that they pose is going to open up space for either Brimson or even Campbell out the back. And the other part to it too is they leak points at a lot of times for long patches in quick succession, the Titans, and I think Kieran Foran will do that with Sam Verrills.
Boyd makes it 6 points apiece. Now, Gordy, I know you signed Dave Fafita a couple of years ago. I mean, you won't admit it, but it was your phone call to Dave that, you know, we think got him over the line. I mean, if you as an ambassador for the Titans, have you chimed in to?
Yeah, Dan. Well, obviously, went over to the World Cup, so missed a fair bit of pre-season, but I did pop down. So through the year, I'm going to make an appearance at Titans training, Dan, and I think we can unlock David Fafita.
Well, hang on, you and Mal need a tag team. So
they're very similar players, mate. Just normally get them the ball, but I think Kieran Foran, yeah, just being so experienced, he's won competitions, and just to unlock something, and they just need a change of angle and get him one-on-one, because we all know what David Fafita can do.
Yeah, indeed. So not a bad game this at all, as Stimson with another powerful run. He's had 8 runs. There's big Tino in the foreground, AJ Brimson. There's Fafita. He's been well handled by this Brisbane defence. Aaron Clark, Toby Sexton, Cleese Haas. 20 years of age. Did crack the first grade side at the end of last year, a couple of games, is now Clark down the middle. And they think that's a high tackle, particularly Clark. No action taken. Not happy, Aaron. A little bit of side eye for a referee. And that one, yeah, pretty straightforward. Try and pin Walsh in the corner and hem him in. 6 points apiece. Ahern chiming into dummy half, and now Farnworth down the middle. Terrific moment in defence not all that long ago. Strong run there. This is the shot the Titans thought should have resulted in a penalty, but we continue. Pakes. Ahern. Another effective set for the Broncos. They've only had this their 7th set. The Titans have had 12 of them, and that needs to... Oh, it sits up enough. It sits up enough. Good result. Campbell, no problem getting into the field of play. Here's Aaron Schopp, who played 32 games in his 2 years at Canterbury, had 2 more years to run on his contract and made the move in November. Gee, Canterbury fans, they'll be buying their grand final tickets today. There were encouraging signs down there. You know,
you're one of them, Dan. Get in the queue, brother.
Their first game is at Belmore. Their first home game. I think it's in round 3. That will be, as against the Tigers, they will fill that joint. That will be standing room only. There's a penalty here for the Broncos. Titans called offside. And that'll make it 4 penalties to 0 in favour of the Broncos.
And this is the part where I think Kieran Foran will come and help the Titans, because different stages last year, the Titans didn't manage situations. They got caught behind, they got in front, leaked points. They just didn't have that experienced head to sort of drag them back into what works for them. So Kieran Foran, while he no doubt might have the opportunity to open up Dave Feeder, I think he'll be a calming influence on the whole Titans team.
Here's to Powell. And earns a penalty. And that just tells Aaron, don't be silly.
Think with your head, Aaron, then calms the rest of the team down.
Gordy, you like the Marty Tapau signing, don't you, for the Broncos? We'll get your thoughts in a moment here. We'll just concentrate on this. As Brisbane here look for their 2nd try. They've only had 4 tackles before that one inside Titans territory. Now Reece Walsh working on the left, giving it to Ahern. Pereira, too much work to do, so just happy to take the tackle, but that's only the 2nd. Tapau loves an offload. Just happy to take the tackle here. There's Brendan Fry in the 12. Jack Ahern. Trying to squeeze through to Cora, the number 17. Back from Pakes. Man backing back. And then almost ad-libbing a little kick here and gets the result thanks to a wonderful chase. And another dropout coming, but the first one going the way of the Broncos.
And Corey Pakes came out to his left-hand side, made a bit clunky, went back to the right-hand side, and Ezra Mann, 4th tackle, summed up, didn't see anything out on the outside to his right, put in a nice delicate kick, and Jane Campbell thought for a second was going to get out, but the coverage came across.
Stay on, kick.
So their short kick, not quite as effective as the Broncos one. Staggs underarms an audacious offload. Or awful. Gets it on. Now, this is Ben Takura. Mam on the left. That's a forward pass. There was one from Pakes at dummy half, which was perhaps a little harshly called. Not that one. That's clearly a forward pass.
Reece Walsh gave Ezra Mann a bit of a spray after this. sizes it up. Brendan Fry, the 12, gets in front of his ball playing 5'8", and then look at Reece Walsh saying, play out the back. He played nice and straight, created the space. Tanner Boyd, full body in front of the back rower, means that Reece Walsh had the 3-on-2. But I reckon next time that Ezra Mann goes down that left-hand side with his back row, he's going to be playing out the back to Reece Walsh.
As we pack this scrum, I asked you before, Gordy, and there's Tapau, the left side of the scrum for Brisbane. Why do you think I heard you on a podcast this week saying he's exactly the type of player they need at the moment?
Well, look, it's the toughest position on the field, and they've got a couple of young bulls in Payne Hassan, Flegler and the like. But having someone like Tapau that's been in the job for a long, long time, it just adds some more stability. And front rowers, they just get better at their craft. And look at Wayne Bennett at the Dolphins. He just wanted some old pros up the front because they get the job done every week, and I think Marty Tapau is one of those guys. And
he does provide second phase play, doesn't he, Coop?
It's a physical thing too. Loves the right-hand fan, right foot across the field, and gets a really late offload. So it'll be interesting to see the role that he plays with that impact player of the interchange, because he doesn't often play long minutes, but he's got Payne Haas there.
Dan, and can plus he can deadlift over 300 kilos. Look, remember that. Love it.
He's very proud of that too, Gordy.
Yes, oh, well, I was about 30 kilos.
The number 16 here, Joe Vuna for the Titans. McIntyre remains a dummy half. Boyd runs to the line. Sexton to Cleese Haas. 25 minutes gone now. So it goes through the hands. Clark, sharp footwork as he makes it to the 10-metre line. The 15 for the Titans, by the way, Isaac Fa'asua-Ma'alawa, younger brother of Tino, who is now on the field. Oh, Boyd, beautiful work as he just did Takura in cold. Ahern there. Titans close. Oh, the dab from Sexton was too subtle. It was too cute. And Staggs not only takes it, but draws a penalty.
I like that from Tanner Boyd. Showed to the right-hand side. Gave the indication he was going to play at the back. And the big right foot step, another one, found some lazy defenders back through the middle. I just thought the Titans had to jump on the back of this. I know it was fifth tackle. Toby Sexton got it wrapping around the other side, but the ball took a jump on the grubber kick and landed in Staggs' hands. But nice play there from the halfback.
So off we go. Dean Mariner, he was a subject of a tug-of-war. The Dolphins wanted him. His management asked for a release. Broncos said no. That was in October, and here he is back at the Broncos. Three in the tackle there. Shalom Orfor is driven back here. He was wonderful last week against Wynn, and that got him another crack here. Now this is Billy Walters. Mostly a starter last year. And Corey Pakes never started a game last year, but he was given the number 9 tonight. Mr. Powell up to the 40. Pass, catch and pass. Ooh, lovely spinning work there from Staggs. So much from him are good. And, oh, that was an intercept try gone begging. There, we could have seen a Lofiana in the clear. Oh boy, that is just a try blown.
I don't think anyone would have got near him, but look at this. Billy Walters saw that the markers were out of play, went to run, and then just telegraphed the pass. The young man, a lot of wraps around his speed, but he had that in his breadbasket and dropped a goal.
And to add insult to injury, the field position remains terrific for Brisbane. So not only a butchered try, but never easy, those ones, but look where they are now, the Broncos. Brendan Fry. Walsh dummy half to Powell. Oh, ducks underneath. Oh, they didn't see him. And now a barge over. And that's going to get a look here. Ben Takura has at least earned a replay.
Just confirm that ball never gets to the ground and there's always a hand underneath it.
Yeah, it looks like he's held onto it all the way, so worst case for Brisbane you would think would be a play the ball.
The reason why teams like to do this is often that the fullback is in and around the play the ball close to the line. And there's Jaden Campbell. He'll be the difference here. If he holds that ball up.
Just checking to see whether the ball gets to the ground here.
And hasn't even got there.
The ball's up at the moment.
Ooh, has he held it? Has he held it?
Just to see whether possession's maintained or whether he loses the ball into Jaden Campbell.
Might have gone a bit early here. It looked like he held it the whole way, but maybe not.
That's got to be a knock-on, hasn't it, Dan?
You would think.
Though the hand comes off the ball, he's still got it gripped with his forearm. Possession is maintained.
How can you grip a ball with your forearm? Oh, how good to have rugby league.
It's February. Let's.
I thought you were the ref whisperer.
Mate, let it go.
Let's give the bunker a chance.
Oh.
When are we back? March 2? Is that the season? That's. We can fire on all cylinders then. Now here's Payne Haas. Haven't seen much of him tonight. He's keeping his powder dry as he plays it. Walters. Ahern. That's a lovely kick. And it's Mariner who scores. Dean Mariner wins the race. The veteran Ahern puts it on a platter. Broncos back in front.
Yeah, Jack Ahern. Normally in pre-season games, we see the opportunity for some youngsters who have been introduced to the NRL level. But Jack Ahern, 29-year-old journeyman through the Host Plus Cup in Queensland. Back-to-back champions of North Devils. Fullback, halfback by trade. Big body and good skill, and look at that. Just put it on absolute dime. The wing had come up past the ball. Jack realised that. It was up to Campbell to get across. And a great effort there. Good stuff there from Ahern.
So you said it, the Queensland Cup, fullback, captain as well, and doesn't seem too perturbed and too nervous by this situation, playing with a fair few stars around him. So Dean Mariner, a couple of games in the top grade last year, and there you go, good record in Queensland Cup as well. Broncos playing this game tonight. Mentioned the Titans' big guns missing for Brisbane. Reynolds, that's the big one, but some other very good players as well. Kurt Capel, Selwyn Cobbo, he was there yesterday. Corey Oates, Cobbo in the Indigenous game. Jordan Ricky. They're among some of the top flight players not here tonight. Tom Flegler would have been here, but for that HIA. Got it from this spot last time. He's bounced it in. He's bounced it in. He's trying to play like a three-quarter chip. There's Pat Carrigan. I had it written down here, but I can't read my own handwriting. I knew there was one more. But Pat Carrigan looking nice and relaxed.
It was interesting the season last year for the Brisbane Broncos. Yeah, this is the try where Ahern realised on fifth play, nice delicate little kick, and Mariner pounced on it. You think about the Broncos season last year, they finished 9th, but after 19 rounds they're in 4th. One win of their last 6, so something happened towards the back end. So they've got the ability to play high level football for long periods of time, but the Broncos need to work out what happened that last 6 weeks, and it should be a successful year for Brisbane.
Well, it's a power. Where's one from McIntyre? That's a fancy offload. That's one way to describe it, and it gets them going. Well, that's the very definition of second phase play, because that offload came from nowhere. And they're going an extra, 15 metres out of it. Takura, the man who had a try the night, had just hit it up 205 centimetres. He's only 19. I hope he stopped growing, otherwise he'll go to the NBA. Now here's Walters. Tapau. This is vintage Tapau, what we've seen in this set. Pass. Man on to Walsh. Farnworth. Slicing back in field. Fafita around the ankles. Man. Oh, that might have been dropped. Yeah, well, now they might challenge this. Boyd. What's he want to do here, Tanner?
Clock on in the middle.
I think he was ready to put a case to the touch judge there. By the time he was in position to, the decision had already been made. Oh, Tanner.
Yeah, no chance there, Tanner.
Come on,
No,
Tanner.
when you're beaten. When you think about the Broncos' attack, I just like the fact they can go left to Farnworth with a big left foot step back inside or on the out, and on their right side they've got Katoni Staggs. So when you get out the back, you can actually get one-on-one opportunity for both centres, and they can come up trumps and score tries.
And damn proof you can't grip it with your forehand.
Oh, okay, let it go. Let it go. Is the last try scorer Mariner. Walters. See the effect Walters has had in the last few minutes, really bringing players onto the ball as Takura seems to be in the middle of everything at the moment, clutching at his jaw, but seems to be okay. To Fry. Brothers Mitchell and Jackson have played in the NRL. There's Walters to Farnworth. Plenty of defenders there. They just in the nick of time. 2 tackles left here. When it comes to Ahern. Along the line now for Haas. Kev down here as Walsh wants another loose pass, and this time it's scooped up. But Pereira can't get away from Jordan Pereira. Pretty high quality stuff in terms of the error rate. 12 from 16 Brisbane completions. Gold Coast 13 from 15. Shop down the centre. Good run. Shop. Oh, he almost gets past Takura. It was Walters who had to make the tackle. Now the number 23, Vaka Sikahele. As Campbell wheeling and dealing, and he saw the defenders had rushed up, couldn't expose them. The kick here might actually be pretty well weighted. In the end it is. This is Ethan Quay Ward. 23-year-old centre for the South Slogan Magpies, the Brisbane number 18. So the change is now starting to come thick and fast. Jordan Pereira gets up over the 20. It's been a pretty good weekend, hasn't it, really? Week 1 of trials. The teams will be even stronger next week, but we've had a nice sprinkling of familiar faces and young kids who've shone on this stage. Brendan Fry was part of the Cowboys squad last year, but that wasn't needed as they managed through to the prelim final. Walsh's pass, that's been cleared, but then a foot on the line for Quay Ward.
Play ball when you want it.
Just the speed of Reece Walsh, the acceleration down the short side. Gets over the advantage line, just takes off in a retreating defence, sets something up. Quay Ward, I think, goes into touch before he gets a foot on the ball, as the replay shows. And the thing about young talent coming in, the thing I like about this at this stage of the year is that we get to see what kind of work that the coaches want to see from their players, because naturally your best players will rise, but what learns or what standards do the young players bring in? That'll underpin what the pre-season has been for most of these teams. So the coach there and Kevin Walters want to see their young troops doing the things that he's practiced during the pre-season.
That was a line ball pass out of dummy half. Yeah, the news today, it looks like Kevin will get himself a 2-year deal. Might be announced during the week. So here's Aaron Clark. It's away from Billy Walters, and tackle made on the 40. Sikahele, the number 23, in the dummy half roll. So we're inside the last 5 minutes of this first half. Boyd's kick, again end over end. And perfectly weighted. And there's no chance for Quay Ward to do anything with that.
Tanner Boyd's had a nice couple of kicks here. He set up a try for Fafita, nice crossfield kick, and this one, centimetre perfect.
Well, I suppose, Coop, if you go end over end, the least challenging of the kicks. It has to be pinpoint, which in fairness that was.
Yeah, technique and the high percentage kick is the drop punt, the end over end kick, as you say. You can come up with some other ones to put the defence under a bit more pressure, but he's done well though with the high percentage kicks to start this first half.
There, so the Titans would have been ready this time for the short drop out, but no.
They were all flooded the front 20-metre line. They went behind them this time.
Fasuma low in the 15, followed up by Joe Vuna. There's Billy Walters coming off. And now, plenty of space for Campbell. Now he was tripped, but was he tripped illegally? Yeah, no, it was all fine. It was all in the motion there from Fry. So tripped up might be the more accurate description. As Walsh, hello, Reece Walsh down the middle, then gets it on. This is Tristan Saylor. Nice little first involvement, almost going half the length of the field as Ezra Mam now on the 20. Well, Reece Walsh, hasn't he put his stamp on this game so far? Hasn't been perfect, but boy, has been electric. Logan Baylor's brow. He's fired away here to a third. And the pass on to Mariner. That's a stylish Brisbane try from start to finish. But that's Pereira, my apologies. Pereira who scores on that wing. And the Broncos open up a 16-6 lead.
Well, we marvel at some of the things that Jaden Campbell did in his 14 games last year. He lit the competition up at different stages and looked like a real spark. But this, on tackle 3, potentially was checked, but risk versus reward. The ball goes dead. His opposite number, quick, onto the ball, gets through the backfield, almost gets away. Another famous Broncos named Saylor gets the ball and then shift out to the right-hand side, and Pereira finishes it. So while we marvel at some of the things Jaden Campbell's done, he really needed to get that right there because it's put his team under a hell of a lot of pressure 2 minutes before half-time.
So you notice now Pereira was on the left wing, Mariner was on the right. Mariner's come into the centres. That's a dynamic offload. And Pereira there getting the finish. I think if this was a proper NRL game, we would be discussing that trip a lot more. That seemed to be a pretty definitive penalty. Trip may be too harsh a word, but it seemed Campbell was illegally
Yeah, there was a great
over.
body check, wasn't it? Like the back rower comes across and, you know, you got to finish off the tackle, but he got there just a little bit too late there.
I think we all agree that's a penalty. That's a penalty to the Titans, but
what a first half Reece Walsh has had. Mate, I might try to grab him on the way off, Dan.
all right, okay. Oh, you're kidding. You are kidding.
Asking me if you meant that, Gordon Tallis.
That is ridiculous. Joey kicked one at Mount Smart Stadium like that. That's an outrageous kick. That no angle to work with.
Look at this.
Oh, come on.
Of course the kickers mean that, Cooper.
Of course
Come
he did.
on.
That body lent that way. It was swinging in to out. Looked like you off the first tee, Gordon. Just a big slice.
No, mate, I'm right-handed. That's a beautiful draw.
So, okay, so Brendan Fry on report. So that does confirm that it should have been a penalty. And boy, thank goodness this is a trial, because that is a match-defining moment there, because it could have easily been 12 all, and now it's 18-6. Brisbane, fair bit to like about their performance in the first half. Now they've evened up possession. So they've mostly been in defence for a huge portion of that first half. That's Corey Jensen, the former Cowboy, back in the game. 205-centimetre Ben Takora. What's that, 205? That's about 16. Here's a penalty. They're going to get a late chance here.
Release on the call.
It's a lot taller than you and I, Dan. That's what it is.
Indeed. number 19, Tyson Smoothie. We've seen him in a Melbourne jersey in the top grade. Brisbane now. Let's see, they've got a couple of plays, maybe one after this from Takura.
Ezra Mam involved here, surely.
Jensen. Oh, gets rid of it. So this is it. This is the last play. Sailor. This might be his sort of moment. Oh, what a kick! Brilliant stuff! Pereira scores! The kick was on the money. And Pereira, it looks like he's very, very close.
We got no try. Just confirming it was touching
No
goal.
try. I thought Ezra Mam looked like he was going to get involved with an offloader out the back down this left-hand side. And just have a look what Tristan Sailor does here. We just saw Reece Walsh kick an inside-out conversion, and I think Sailor has done exactly the same here.
Brisbane
Right
kick chase
foot
is onside.
inside the ball, and it bends perfectly over the top. It's just whether Pereira's got this down.
Well, he saw that Khan Pereira was in. Oh, it's a try.
Jordan
It's
Pereira
a try.
catches the ball, just checking to see whether he remains in the field of play.
Come on, Ashley, it's a trial. Don't be a party pooper.
The ball is
Give the trick,
ground.
give
They're
the
just
try.
making sure that the back of his body remains in.
Yes, it's a wonderful try, and it's about to be confirmed. It's a good put down. He was
As you
in
can
an
see
awful
on the right of the
position.
screen, Jordan Pereira remains in the field. We have a decision.
It's Tristan Sailor, and he's been in the game for a couple of minutes, and by all reports was outstanding last week against Wynnum, and that comes off his return last year where he did some very good things for South Logan. So there you go. It's good to see a smile on that young man's face, Tristan Sailor. And you're locking it in that he absolutely meant that.
Yeah, you could see he was running across the field here to his right-hand side. This is the lead-up play. Ball comes out the back. Watch this. See how he leans back to his left-hand side and see he checked the ball to the right, put a nice little angle on his right foot and bend it over the top of the defensive winger. So
Dare I
then
say,
absolutely he meant to do that.
I'm asking the right person because I think you might have tried a kick or two like that. That was beautiful.
It's a little bit of deception late. You give the indication that you kick. Oh, here he is. Let's see if this guy can do it again.
He's got it aimed at the right upright. That one's a little closer. He's showing off Reece. It's his first half, but a lot to like for you Broncos fans watching. Jordan Pereira finishes with a couple of late tries. Walsh scored one as well, so did Mariner. And it's the Broncos. 24 points to 6.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought the first 40 minutes, was great. I think they defended the goal line for the first 15, 20 minutes and then hit the accelerator at the back end, scoring 3 unanswered tries.
Now, they haven't named an enormous squad here, the Broncos, so we're going to see plenty of the same players going around again. 28 the maximum these sides can carry. Broncos have only named 23, and one of them gone in Tom Flegler. So 22 for them. The Titans have brought 25 players ready to play. So that's Tyson Smoothie in the 19. Takura getting it on. Smoothie passes to Ahern. Gee, Ahern very impressive. We've spoken many times, Q Cup veteran, but not out of place here. Last tackle, Walsh. He's got a big boot on him. That's a 40-20. That's got to be a 40-20. It's very close.
40-20.
It is. Oh boy, Jojo Fafita, very casual, obviously not aware. And Reece Walsh's night just gets better.
Well, the Titans did this in the first half where they got a repeat set and just didn't react to the short dropout. And Fafita again, first minute in the second half, game awareness, not aware that Walsh was inside his 40, and here come the Broncos.
Jamie, get out there! On the mark there! Hold! Go!
So pretty efficient on the attack, Brisbane, in the first half. That's Brendan Piakura in jersey number 23. Stimson, the man who brings him down. Now that pass from Bayless Brow has been knocked down and knocked forward. So at least to
What do
get
you want
them
it?
a
What do you
stay
want it?
of proceedings, the Titans, but it will be Brisbane ball.
This will be the ideal scenario for the Brisbane Broncos. Been practicing all pre-season their scrum plays, and this is Reece Walsh territory. Look at this, Ezra Mam and Reece Walsh out to the left-hand side. The Titans are going to mark up with them, so if they were smart, they'd come back this other side.
Let's see if there's a change of direction. Well, no, they stay out there, but the ball comes to the right. That's Dean Mariner. He had a try assist just before the break. An excellent pass out to the wing of Pereira. Number 17, Ben Takura. Inside the 10, the Broncos. A smoothie, the third dummy half used tonight. Onto the bobbling man, loose puck. Great pick-up. That is Quay Ward nonchalantly scooping it up. Back now for Mam. 6 more tackles. Mam almost does it on the first. Chopped down by McIntyre. Desperate tackle. As now Jensen tries to go one out. So it's been all Brisbane to start this second half. They look to expand their lead. Walsh, now that's audacious. He'd like that one over.
20.
And tackle number 2, it's a 20-metre tap and a 7-tackle set for the Gold Coast.
No, not the play there from Reece Walsh. Got the repeat set, tackle 2 as you called it, Dan. And just the defence was too strong, and this is what maturity should do. You should be able to just lay the ball back to someone in the middle of the field and reset both sides, but Reece Walsh thought he had to score off that play and come up with a big one. He's had a hot hand the first half, but that wasn't the play.
Gold Coast now just working it upfield. It really got away from them late in that first half. McIntyre will be more comfortable in this role, playing in the back row, filling a role there with Chris Randall injured before the game. That was a line ball pass, and then Fa'asul Ma'alau, he puts his man through here. That is Keanu Kinney. Sharp. Mariner the tackle. Campbell the dummy half. Tom Weaver, the 18. Tanner Boyd putting in the kick. And the chase from Fafita just curtailed by Man.
Yeah, good play from the Titans down the middle. They got the big, rangy 17 Takura caught at marker. It's nice interchange of passes to Kinney, and he looks electric. Showed up there, Reece Walsh, but Pereira jumped on him. And Tanner Boyd, nice kick game in the first half, but Ezra Mam saw that coming.
Okay, we've seen another style of kick here from Walsh. We've seen the short one, we've seen the conventional one. I don't know what you call that one, but it got the distance. And it's taken eventually by Jolliffe, who marches it to the 40. Sika Hele, the number 23 in the dummy half roll.
Corey Jensen up! Wait. Hold.
There you go, there's some stats. First 20 minutes it was all Titans, at least possession-wise and attacking opportunity-wise, but since then it's been the Broncos that have dominated. They've cashed in, that's the difference. Sika Hele now to Tom Weaver. Looking it back on the inside. The 18, a halfback from Sugar in their top 30. It's a sharp little run. Sika Hele. Raka Sika Hele. One tackle left here. This has been their downfall, really. What to do on these last plays. Boyd going for the contest. And up they go. And down it comes for the Broncos. A little impotent from the Titans on the last tackle. As Quay Ward comes up with it, the 2-time try scorer. Jordan Pereira carries it forward. Let's go down to the sideline. Gordy, tell us what's doing.
Mate, well, Dan, you know what? I was talking to Nathan Brown in the off-season, and he said that Kevy Walters has got a player in that Reece Walsh, and he said he can kick a footy. And tonight, you know, you're sitting beside one of the best kickers of the football, but Reece Walsh has it on a string. And Dan, before the game, they were talking about a drinks break, so they brought out this little device. I thought it was a Nokia 20, so these doctors, they're all standing around talking about it. I thought it was the first one of the phones, but apparently it's a Kestrel machine that takes the humidity and the heat and everything in, and every home team has to put it out there to see whether they need a drinks break.
When we get a little break, Gordy, I think we've got pictures. It's like the old Hey, here we go.
There it is. It's a Nokia 20. Look at it.
It's the light meter. You're right. It's the light meter they use in the cricket. That little ball, that's like Tony Gregg's weather wall.
Dan, common sense is it is blowing a gale. You can see it. And we are 3K from the ocean. Do you think they need a drinks break?
And I see it was connected to an Excel spreadsheet there. So, well, hey, trusting the science.
We're going woke, Dan. We're going woke.
Gordy, we had a 36-degree day in Penrith yesterday and we didn't have a drinks break. So I don't think we were going to ever qualify today. That's a tidy recovery there. Titans, good leaders. They did get the extra tackle. That's Isaac Fa'asuama'alawi who held onto that ball, and Boyd again. The tap back. Oh, that was fancy. And now a claim that Tremaine Spry was held back, and they get that call.
Can't grab him, mate.
So they get something out of all of that. Good to see Tremaine Spry back. He was involved in a horrific incident about a year ago, had a brain bleed, and slowly has come back through Tweed in the Q Cup, and he's now wearing a Titans jersey again, which is good to see. So Titans, this is how the first half started, with them getting plenty of attacking possession. Hit up from Jolliffe, who was very busy in the first portion of the game. In fact, that's his 12th run, and he's got well over 100 metres, so he'll be on the edge of that 17, you think, and good performance from him today. Oh, what a spin move that was from Kinney as it comes out here to Weaver. Slow service, but eventually gets to Campbell. He's hard to put away. Oh, let's see more of this Keanu Kinney, the number 19. Now Jolliffe, another strong run from Jolliffe. And 6 more tackles, but they only need one. Vakasika gets over, and the Titans get their second.
This will be interesting here. We'll see the replay. Sakahele has realised that someone's on the ground, and it's Reece Walsh, and he doesn't look like he's in good shape. He was clutching something laid down. This was the lead-up play. Dan, you called it. Footwork from Kinney, spin, quite electric, kept the ball alive. And they set back up here, and look at this, Reece Walsh down on the ground. And I hope he's got some type of injury there, because he laid down and caused a hole in the defensive line. I hope he's not injured for his own welfare, but...
Just keeping an eye on Walsh as we watch this replay. And
it might be the family jewels.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
Old sideline eye, Gordon Tallis.
I was keeping both eyes open. And I put my glasses on as well.
That's the technical term, family jewels.
But in terms of effort, you'll back this up, Gordon. Like, I get he's probably in some pain here, but you got to get up and defend your line, particularly that close, because the hole that he left, Sakahele has just gone straight through it and scored.
It's probably one of the worst injuries I've ever had. I would have laid down as well. We all know that.
Boyd's kick 24-12. So we've crossed the 10-minute mark of this second half. There's Justin Holbrook. Gee, it's a big year for him. Big year for Justin Holbrook. Titans last year, just the 6 victories. They finished 13th. Finished the year well, actually. Picked off some wins against albeit beatable opposition, but wins nonetheless. And at least they finished with a bit of a flourish. So, try scorer. Signed with the club a couple of years ago. Sakahele.
Off for the kick.
And Walsh, he's still got the hobble, hasn't he? Must have been some strike. Perfect.
You hold. Wait.
Has to power back in the game.
Marty, get off it.
Isaac Fa'asuama'alawi, Tino says, has always been better than him. That's a big statement from Big Tino.
Well, Dan, I can tell you he's a chip off the old block. He's a really hard runner. He runs some great lines. All he needs is a bit of experience and confidence. But Yes, there's another Tino in the ranks, but
Yeah.
he's not. He's his own man, but he's a very raw talent that loves carting the ball.
Who's the big fella? McIntyre running it into Piakura and also to Powell. Miscommunication here. No, no, quite happy. There's another little spin move. This time it was from Sami on the Campbell. Still the last here. And this could go haywire in a hurry. Fafita backing back. Ignores Spry. Oh, yes, there's a miracle offload. Now Boyd. Oh, come on, you're a party pooper, Darian Furner. Probably correct with the forward pass, but we wanted to see how that would unfold. It is 100 grand on the line, and I believe there is some betting on this game available. So they do have to get these things right. We can't treat them like a play thing.
Okay, Sam, off the arm! Square marker! Wait!
I guess we'll have, 9 teams that can win the thing next week, but we'll worry about that more once we get closer to the end of next weekend, the 100,000 for the pre-season challenge. This is a good run for Jensen. Corey Pake's back in the game. It's only a brief stay early, and gets a second stint here in this second half. Walsh rushing to the right side. He's at the back at the moment as this play unfolds. Pereira, good offload again. Here's Walsh, and that's put down, and it's gone backwards. Isaac Fa'asuama'alawi judged to have put it down, but legally. So again, Walsh not on the money that time, but still having an outstanding night. Another penalty to get the Titans out of trouble.
He's copped another knock here, Reece Walsh. He just gets a bit too kick-happy when the play breaks down. He starts skipping across the field. Second time he's done it this second half. He had some chases this time. It was good weight. The Titans' defence was there to match it. Yep, I think his night's done.
You would think it would come to an end soon anyway, wouldn't you, Coop?
Yep.
Don't you just get him off and put him in cotton wool? Because when he was down before, I saw the Broncos trainers get up and they yelled out to him and he didn't want to come off, and then Pakes went on and they made a replacement. But there's got to be some young kids that can get a shot at the back.
I think we've seen enough tonight, haven't we?
Yeah, maybe they want to get Reece Walsh to play through some tough injuries, and Kevin Walters wants someone who can be there through all of it for 24 plus games, and maybe Reece Walsh just needs to get that sort of those legs in his kilometres in his legs and get some reps in on the field, and that's what they wanted to get him through this period of time. So, but obviously the HIA will end his night.
Great performance though from Reece Walsh. One of the performances of the weekend, without question. Hopkins are not out of this, 26 minutes to go, only the 2 converted tries down. Comes for Fa'asuama'alawi. Another set restart. Aaron Clark going into the dummy half roll this time. Now it's Weaver. Out to Boyd, having a little dart. Third run of the game for him. Spots Fafita on the short side and gives it to him quickly. And Fafita carries it to the 10. McIntyre on the angle. Weaver back in field for Kinney. And this time they're all over him, but illegally so.
Don't.
Shalom Orfor is the man who is deemed to have gone high.
Give space.
We've seen some spark from Kinney in this second half, and the fact that he's playing fullback, former Australian schoolboy fullback, has moved Jaden Campbell out to left centre. So maybe they see a bit of a prospect of bright future. Obviously, AJ Brimson's there as well, but Jaden Campbell's playing out left centre, and they're giving this young kid a go at fullback.
Okay, there's direct contact. It's on report and in the bin.
Wow, okay. Lama Orfor is off for the next 10. Not the first sin binning we've seen over the weekend, but deemed to be forceful enough. Oh yeah, oof, that's straight across the chops. All right, with the Titans here, what can they do with this? One out to McIntyre. Taken down around the ankles by Piakura. Sailor there to help. Sailor, though, gives away 6 more tackles. Not that expensive. It was early in the count anyway. Clark. Kinney, early ball through the hands of James Johnson for the Broncos. His eyes lit up, but couldn't hang on.
Where do you want it, David?
This is where fullbacks earn their keep. With the player down, Tristan Saylor's come on to replace Reece Walsh. And you just watch Tristan Saylor in the background defending as fullback. He'll be marshalling the troops, trying to get the numbers right. So the Titans, is up to them to play a game of chess here, move the ball around a little bit, see if they can outsmart Tristan Saylor, who's going to be counting the defence numbers.
I think not the worst thing for either side to practice in this scenario.
Well, considering the way that the game has changed with sin binning and head-high contact, teams train like this and strategize around situations like this all the time. So this should be something they just fall back into autopilot and know the system, even in the first week of pre-season.
So there's the floating pass, and on his own, Khan Pereira gets over. They score quickly in this sin bin period, and we have ourselves a contest, it seems. Hello, Fiona. Khan Pereira didn't need to be at full throttle. Certainly more than enough to get to the line.
And here it is, scrum play. 4-on-3, young Thomas Weaver goes to the line, has Kinney out the back as a bit of a decoy interception, and throws the ball over the top to his winger. That's nice work from Weaver. Knew that he had the numbers, didn't overplay his hand, went in and faked like he was going to play short and just lofted the ball over the top. So, well done to the young man.
You also, like Keanu Kinney, is in the top 30. Lots of time left in this game. Lots of time with the man in the sin bin for the Broncos. So 24-6 it was at half time, but the Titans have stuck on. And that's the try scoring record. He has been clocked at 36.5 kilometres an hour.
He was top try scorer for Burleigh in the Queensland Cup last year, and as we've noted, a flyer, but Thomas Weaver did a tremendous job, summed it up perfectly, and hit him on the button for his try.
That's a good kick. So 4 tries to 3. And lots of time on the clock. Gordon Tallis, looks like we've got ourselves a contest.
Yeah, absolutely. We got a contest. What is it, about another 7 minutes to go? The Broncos are still down, and the Titans, you know, all they needed was a little bit of game management. And Tanner Boyd, I just like the way he's starting to run the football, and that's what they need to do. The 7, 6 and 1 and 9, especially when the game's getting a bit tight. Don't forget, it's their first game of the year for a lot of these guys, and I think the lungs would be starting to scream out about now.
Stay on the ball. Time to run here, lads. Time it.
We go off the Sailor kickoff, and it's for Fita.
Okay, move together now.
4 of them needed to put him away.
Wait. Martin, not square.
Leading of dummy half.
Tyson to the side. Square, Corey.
Strong charge there from Jojo for Fita. Look, the momentum here, there's no question, the Titans. They had a dummy half from Clark. They've gone 60 metres in 4 plays. McIntyre, a bit of space up the middle. And the offload to boot. Oh, Kiara Kitty. Excellent tackle around the waist. Tyson Smoothie there. Tackle that had to be made, but here's Weaver again. This time he kicks. He's found him. He's got him. I'm not sure he got it down, though, inside the try area.
We've got no try.
Looks like it's over the dead ball line.
Dead when he grounds it.
Titans kick case is onside. Maintains possession.
So can't squeeze it in the in goal.
Just looking to see where he places the ball down. And the ball is grounded on the dead ball line.
Huge set of 6 though, Dan. Just marched down the field. Had a couple of the young guns get some bit of footwork and get through the backfield. And the second half's 20 minutes old, and the Broncos have only had 6 sets of 6. Titans 13. Avalanche of possession. Hence they've made the scoreboard a little closer in the second half, but yeah, just dominant field position at the moment for the Gold Coast Titans. The Broncos are on the back foot. You have to roll the sleeves up and get out of here quickly.
Brisbane started the first few minutes were good for them in this second half, but and all the Titans ever since. Pereira over halfway. Here's a sharp run from Pakes. Jolliffe with the tackle. No markers. Ahern delivering here for Jensen. Brisbane, don't forget, a 7-tackle set here. And this here is Josh Rogers. Powerful run inside the 10. Pakes the grubber. Played at it, would seem. Almost a spectacular pickup there by Jaden Campbell, but it will come back to the Broncos.
Like what Corey Pakes did that set. He was just dictating terms, towing his forwards onto the field, and they marched down the field. He was just craft out of dummy half. He'd like to have that kick over again, but Corey Pakes just really controlled that set. They marched down the field, as I said. Now the Broncos, who we said were under pressure, now have a good chance here to dominate field position for the next couple of minutes if they can either score or get a good repeat on the back of an attacking set.
Should we read much into the fact he was named as the 9 tonight? It is week 1 of the trials. Billy Walters coming off the bench. That's not the way they did it last year. And Brisbane now working out here to Ethan Quay Ward. Still a man down, of course. Going to march it up here with Brendan Fry. Pakes pointing left, throwing right. Jensen to Ahern. Ahern out to Saylor. Saylor threatens again. Biakura. Dynamic running. Millimetres away. Here's a retreating Pakes. This time he puts it down. So that ends that opportunity.
Commentator's curse. I said he was crafty in the set beforehand, then he just completely overplayed his hand, turned himself inside out, went to the left, went to the right. That's where the pressure came from the Titans. So well done to the Titans to defend that set, but getting back to your point about the dummy half, tandem act. Look, when you don't have an out starter that's going to hold down the fort for long periods of time, I don't mind that they've got the tandem act, and who's in front is an indication, I think, throughout the year, whoever's consistent at those roles, whether starting or coming off the bench for an impact, that's Kevy's strength right there. So leave it up to the coach to decide, but I think it'll be Walters to start, Pakes to come on.
Okay. They play the Cowboys next week, might get a bit of indication. That is a Saturday night game here on Fox League. Gold Coast play the Dolphins Sunday night. There's Kevy. Kinney. Almost through. It's almost a matter of time, it seems. As Weaver, the kick here for Khan. Pereira! Oh, those two forming
on,
quite
drop
the
it up.
dynamic duo on this stage.
Broncos there, up.
And it's a Broncos hand. It's a dropout.
They're going to check it.
Well, you can't coach speed, Dan. They just keep on putting the ball in just in a little bit of open space, and his speed and his willingness to chase the football. He just doesn't give up here. He just goes again and he gets a hand on it. But I think he's knocked it on, hasn't he?
And it eventually does come to the 20. That's the bunker getting involved. And a bunker in full operation over this pre-season challenge. So 2 minutes to get through here, the Broncos. So you would think just the one set. It's cost them one try. They're trying to maintain this lead.
Joe, up! Square markers!
This is Jensen. Good play the ball. Pakes bringing Josh Rogers into it again. He's got them retreating to the 10. Couple of tackles left here. Plenty of metres in this set to this point. Sailor to Ahern to Kura. Stack the right side here. Is that where Pakes is going to head?
Work, Jacob, work, Jacob!
Ahern. Subtle. Piakura. No.
That's it there.
Good scramble there.
Yeah,
Jacob Arlick, the Papua New Guinea international, comes up with a most important tackle.
Oh, very short on that left side defensively for the Titans, and they raced up, and I thought Ahern played a nice ball to Piakura to put him through, but desperation defence, big hit there.
Brandon, up in square 17. Okay. Wait!
This is Jojo Fafita. Seems to have put some bulk on Jojo over the off-season because of real force in his runs. And the defence copping a hit as he comes through from the back. Boyd. The wind seems to have died down. And confident catch from Sailor and
Inside 10.
offside the Titans.
They just haven't nailed their kicking game in this second half, the Titans. Obviously the wind's playing a bit of havoc trying to get that distance, but sometimes when you get those positions, you got to kick for distance and field position as opposed to attacking types of kicks. So it's tough when the wind's blowing in your face to get that right, but the Titans just missed the mark in the second half.
So 13 on 13. Dean Mariner, good work from him in the first half. The man who has come back on, Shalom or forward. Puts the ball down. This is Ryan Fawn, no relation to Kieran in the 25. Keanu Kinney again. What a live wire. A lot of these games over the weekend, Coop, have really dropped off in the last 20, 30 minutes. Understandably, fatigue, lack of experience. But this one looks like it's going to go the distance. Sikaheli there playing it as it comes across Joe Vuna. Weaver! Can't Pereira. This time too much work to do. Happy to take the tackle from Jordan Pereira.
Go Desire! Go Desire! Quick one! Fucking quick! Nothing!
Pahulu. Josiah Pahulu. Boyd gets it on the last. A familiar play here. Spry caught it and they let him catch it. The rebound for Spry. Just a turner kick infield and comes away harmlessly for the Broncos.
We gave Tanner Boyd a rap in the first half for his kicking, particularly his attacking kicks to the wing, but in the second half, he just missed the one into the wind, puts a little bit of pressure, dies off. You don't put the winger on the try line to give yourself the best chance, but geez, you got to give a rap to young Kinney in this second half. He's had 7 runs for over 100 metres, and he is taking tough runs. He's taking support carries. He's out the back. So he looks like he's got a bit of a motor and could be a bit of a prospect for the Titans.
Hey,
He's
Cooper,
got some talent there.
Sorry, Coop. What sort of kick do you look for into a strong headwind?
Hang on, this almost a 40-20. I think that was Sailor kicking it out of dummy half. Good kick nonetheless.
Yeah, you got to focus on the technique, Gordon, because there's no doubt that once you start getting that wind in your face, you feel like you're going to fall back, and when you start falling back, you start hitting the left, hitting the right, so he needs to follow through a little bit, but the wind is obviously plays havoc, but you got to get some reps in before the game to feel the conditions. Again.
Hey, get up, Marty! Marty, wait! Wait!
11 minutes to go. Brisbane haven't taken the Titans off here. Titans back inside Brisbane territory. Boyd, and there's numbers here. It comes out now to Fafita. Jojo, the kick, too big. But Sailor started from the field of play. That's fine anyway. They don't get the 7th tackle, but they start on the 20 with Sailor to play it. So Jojo Fafita not quite getting that one pinpoint. Jordan Pereira. And now Ethan Quay Ward from Wagga Wagga. Ethan. Brendan Fry.
Move together! Square markers! Hold. Go for it.
You see Billy Walters back in the game. Logan Bayless Brow. So Hearn, he's been steady, certainly. Here's a kick, which almost, it does get a knock on, in fact, from Khan Pereira. So good pressure from Pereira, Jordan, and now Brisbane get a chance to reassert their dominance on the scoreboard.
Yeah, good kick. Put the winger under pressure in a defensive position. Jordan Pereira had the jump at it, hence the drop ball. And 24-18, less than 10 minutes to go. Big set of 6 here for the Brisbane Broncos.
Big set of what, Coop?
Well, it's almost the first game of the year, Dan.
It's a trial as it comes out now.
That's a bad injury.
Don't you laugh, Gordy. 10-metre line, Brisbane now.
Play on there.
Johnson playing it. Jensen. Oh,
Still.
sensational. Josiah Pahulu. Well, wherewithal to even try that and then to pull it off with that kick off the rebound, off his arm.
Wait. Square up, Shalom. Corey Jensen, move. Hold.
Vuna there, parrying it backwards. So Josiah Pahulu, another one they got really a keen eye on because they've signed him till 2025, the Titans. The man in 22 that just came up with that big play. Titans next week, as I said, they play the Dolphins. They open their season against the Wests Tigers on a Sunday night. That's a few weeks away, but it'll be a Sunday night at Leichhardt. And Sailor brings it back. And Pereira, geez, been a workhorse, Jordan Pereira. Titans, actually, it's a good couple of couple of games to open. West Tigers away, that's a game both sides will see as winnable as the Broncos make an error here. And then the Dragons away, so that's not the worst draw for the Titans. Broncos, Penrith at Penrith. We might as well get that over and done with. There's the Titans, just looking at that again. Then it gets a bit tougher with Melbourne and Cowboys and the bye. Yes, the bye. 3 for each this year. There's the Broncos. Penrith at Penrith. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, last year they gave Penrith one of their tougher tests down there. Now, got away from him in the end, but that was very encouraging. And then Melbourne at home.
And the Dolphins in round 4.
Yeah, that should be house full there. Yeah, so the first two are pretty brutal for the Broncos, but then it opens up for them. At least that's how it shapes. But, of course, you make these assumptions on what these teams did last year. Well, the Titans here, chance to tie this game up. Oh, that's poor. But it's play on. There's Tapau. Trying to send Arlick back to Malulabar. Now it goes through the hands here. That was Purcell getting it on. Weaver! Clever! Pereira, not sure. Not sure.
No, I don't think he got it down, Dan. I think he's over the sideline, but he tried out his great hands.
Just confirming the ball there.
Wow. It was all class, that from the Titans. So try for now, but of course it does come down to the bunker.
I'm backing my man Gordon Tallis to have this one right. Nice work on the inside there from Cleaver. He's had some nice touches. Got the ball out to the side, and has he got there?
Oh, hang on.
Gordon.
Who are we to doubt wingers? No way. No way!
Oh, he's dropped it, has he?
Well, yes, probably. He did the hard stuff. Just keeping it in. Or all the opinion he's planted it on the touch and goal line, but
Control with his forearm, Dan. We heard it in the first half.
you can't give this, can you? As admirable as that effort is, you can't give this.
Not unless the bunker's still on holidays.
Just give himself a little kiss on camera there.
I'm not sure what's going on there.
Well, we're just waiting here. Be a good time for the Titans for the technology to go down, and then, well, I have to go with the original decision, but hang on.
Well, Dan, Brian Kelly, the Titans center sitting in front of me, he said he just blew the kiss to his missus. So the boys are in there.
That's
grounding.
There you go.
This one's going to be chalked off.
Just checking to see whether possession's maintained. We've cleared all aspects of play leading up to this.
Gee, it's an admirable miss. Well, you expect it to be confirmed as such. And to lead the score 24-18. Geez, the fact they've gone to different angles.
Based on the on-field decision, the hand stays on the ball.
Oh, well.
Decision.
Now, this is a new era. Well, 24-22, high drama.
Make it exciting.
They were dudded in the first half, and that may be, you can't say a make-up call because I don't like that, the referees, when you say that, but karma has gone their way.
It's good work from the inside from young Thomas Weaver. He's had a couple of touches, set up a try assist earlier, and Tanner Boyd has the responsibility here with 4 minutes and a little bit left to go to tie this up.
Just keep that locked away, that one there, because I'm sure there's going to be some controversial ones through the season. He had it aimed at left. He knew what he was doing, though. Comes back to make it 24 apiece. Well, we had a draw up in Cairns, and right now it's tied up with 4 minutes 37 seconds left. Okay, that's a good angle. That's a good angle.
4 minutes on the clock, ladies and gentlemen. Let's make some noise for the Broncos.
It's too early.
I think
It's too early.
Let it go, Cooper.
If it was round
Mate,
20, Gordon Tallis become.
Mate, there's a lot of hype up here in Queensland. There's 4 teams in the competition.
It's going to be a great year up here.
Oh, well. Opportunity now for the Broncos. Tremaine Spry puts it down.
Well, in terms of the fight back from the Titans, that's obviously very costly now with 4 minutes to go. The Titans have done well in this second half. It was 24-6 at half time. They fought back 3 tries. With 4 minutes to go, it's 24 all. So they've done a tremendous job. They've got a lot of possession, 63% possession in this second half. So they've had the run. Broncos players sent to the bin, but can their defence hold up and get themselves a chance to win the game in the last couple of minutes?
So here's to Powell. Again, good practice for these teams, defending and attacking in these situations. This is Logan Baylor's brow.
22, move!
Ahern. A little subtle pass here to Sailor, trying to do it with force.
Hands raised, police.
There's Brown here. It's been a steady as she goes set with 4 tackles gone. Double pump, and now the offload from Rogers as Walters, no panic, comes down to this last play. No one really set deep here. Now Ahern at the last moment thinks about it, but he's too shallow. So here's Rogers again. And that is the end of that.
I thought they were in that awkward position. They knew they should go for the field goal, but it's a trial game. They didn't know if they should have had a respect, and Ahern got really late. And they didn't organise that all that well, but I'm okay with that. You don't go for field goal in a pre-season game.
Oh, there's 100K on the line, Cooper.
Jeez.
Mate, Bellamy would have said, Cooper, kick the field.
No, there were gentlemen's agreements to try.
Yes, Craig, I'll kick it.
So here's Foran, Ryan Foran. Let's see if the Titans have the same attitude. Former Newcastle Knight, Jaron Purcell. And now Kinney, 30 metres out. This is it, though. Jalen de Groot, the number 20. Contest. Great catch. Ethan Quai-Ward, we've seen a fair bit of in this second half. So maybe we're destined here for our second straight draw. Now it's Tyson Smoothie. So 24-6 at half time. It has been impressive for the Titans. Oh, hello, Walters. Oh, penalty be interesting. Ahern. Sailor. Awful. We almost got it away and he almost lost it into a Titan. Out of all that, he just plays it. Ahern, short side. Well, shades of 97 grand final momentarily.
Done the Joey.
He didn't have Darren Albert on his inside. All right, last set of a thoroughly entertaining trial game. Campbell. Tony Francis. So we've used them all now, which is obvious. They're eventually going to get all 26 on the field at some point. The Broncos have used all 22 of their players as well. This could be interesting. No, can't be held on to. It was difficult there for Ethan Quai-Ward. And there's a team that's not worried about a gentleman's agreement. They want one more play. Oh, come on. Darian, let him have one last crack before Mum calls him in for dinner. So that's it. That's probably the right result. 24 points apiece. The Broncos and the Gold Coast. Hope you enjoyed The pre-season challenge, week number 1 here on Fox League. Stick around, but we'll be back next week with 9 more games.